Well, welcome to Wonders, Unit 5, Week 4. This is our weekly intro video. Our concept this week is Now We Know. So we'll kind of explore what that might look like for us this week. Our essential question for this week is, how can scientific knowledge change over time? And in this picture, we have a picture of a deep sea probe. And not that long ago, people were not able to explore under the water like we are now, simply because we have different kinds of vehicles that will go underwater that we can actually survive deep sea diving and collect information about places under the water that we normally wouldn't have been able to do. And that really has happened fairly later in this century. Not that long ago, scuba diving tanks were first invented, and that allowed people to swim under the water and be able to survive longer. Now, recently we're talking about the sun, and we're about to get an opportunity, and I want to show you this. The Parker Solar Probe will be launched this summer, and we'll start heading to the sun. And I signed up to be a participant certificate-wise only. I'm not going to the sun, obviously, but they're sending a probe out into space to do a better job of studying the sun. And on that little probe, there'll be a little plaque that has my name on it, so I'm kind of excited about that. But that probe should be able to bring back information about the sun that we never knew before. So I'm kind of excited about that to come back. Probably we won't get any information for quite some time because we know it takes a while for any thing from Earth to get to the sun, and hopefully we'll be able to get a close-up view of a star, and that may change completely everything that we just learned recently about stars. So I look forward for you to get to know more information as that probe gets closer to the sun, and think about your 5th grade year and just the little tiny bit of information that you learned this year. All right, let's get into our vocabulary for the week. Be sure that you fill out that vocabulary sheet for this week and get it glued into your 5-subject notebook. You'll need to keep your 5-subject notebook today when you're done with this for notes in the grammar section. Now, if you do that first, of course, you will need to turn in your 5-subject notebook when you're done with both notes and your vocabulary. Okay, let's turn to the vocabulary section in your notebook, or take that sheet right quick, and let's get started. Our first word this week is approximately. It's an adverb, and it means, and it also can be an adjective. In this case, we're probably going to use it more as an adjective. And it means to be nearly or about the same, such as the size or amount. So our picture here shows a measuring cup, and it says that the recipe called for approximately 2 cups of oil, so I did not measure it exactly. Our next word is astronomical. It's an adjective, and something that is astronomical relates to outer space or astronomy. And the sentence that goes along with our picture here is, the space exhibit included amazing astronomical instruments to study stars. Our next word is calculation. It's a noun, and when you make a calculation, you do math to find an answer. And our sentence that goes with our picture here is, Mina did a quick calculation to see if she had enough money for 6 tickets. Our next word is criteria. Criteria is a noun, and criteria are rules for judging something or making a decision. And our sentence that goes along with the picture is, blood pressure is one of the criteria doctors use for evaluating your health. Our next word, is diameter. It's a noun, and you can measure across the center of a circle to find its diameter. So basically, diameter is the length from one side of a round object to another. And our sentence that goes along with the picture here is, the large pizza pan has a diameter of 14 inches. Our next word is evaluate, and it's a verb. And when you evaluate something, you examine it closely to decide its value. You can actually see the root word value is right there in the word. So reading food labels can help you evaluate the nutritional value. Our next word is orbit. Sometimes this can be a verb and a noun. And for the verb, the word orbit can mean to circle around something again and again. But if it's a noun, orbit can also mean that pathway that something moves around something else. So the path that the Earth makes around the sun is called its orbit. Oops, that's the wrong sentence there. So in this sentence, the Earth, will orbit around the sun. Sorry about that. And our last word for this week is sphere, and it's a noun. And a sphere is anything that is shaped like a ball or a globe. It's a three-dimensional object. So basketball, soccer balls, and baseballs are all spheres, but footballs are not. Okay, that's our last word for this week. This is the end of this video. Make sure you glue your sheet in your 5-subject notebook in the vocabulary section. That is proof of your learning for the day. At this time, you can stop the video or go back and fill in anything you need to do.